What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Logisticalstyles coming at you with another video, and today we are doing something different. We're doing or beginning what I call the Back to the Future project. And the Back to the Future project is something that I came up with, and I decided that I want to start taking old technology and fixing it, refurbishing it, and making it modern, making it usable for modern day use. And the first device that we're going to do this with is an iPod video, also known as the iPod version 5.5. This iPod came out in the year 2005, and this has been going strong for quite a while. Even though the iPods are no longer made by Apple, this one still works. It was actually being thrown away, and I rescued it from the trash bin along with an iPod Nano and some other accessories. And I figured, why not make this something usable today? So the iPod originally came out like this with a white face. As you can see, I replaced the faceplate, made it a custom blue. I've also replaced the battery, so the battery life should be back to normal. And then I also got rid of the hard drive that came with it. This is a spinning mechanical hard drive, and I replaced it with something called an iFlash Quad, which is a card that you put in to replace the flash, that replaces the hard drive, and it allows you to put in SD cards to expand the storage. Now you can get them in different configurations. I chose to go with the one that's called the Quad, which allows you to put up to 4 different SD cards to combine them all for one big storage. Or you can get one that's a solo and it allows you to add just one big SD card and a couple other options. But I chose to go with the iFlash Quad. And doing so, it gave me much more storage. This started out as a 30 gig, and now it's going up to 256 gig, and it made it much lighter because this drive has a little bit of weight to it. So far, these are the upgrades that I've done. I'm going to do some more upgrades. You have the option to add Bluetooth to these devices, and you can also change it from the 30-pin old school connector to a USB-C. Now, those upgrades are a little bit more technical and you require a little bit more skill because you have to do some soldering. Although I did see some kits that were kind of plug and play. So I'm going to really look into that. But right now, I'm very happy with the product that I have right now. And I want to jump into the video that documents the whole process, from tearing it down, seeing the inside for the first time, trying to figure out what to do, some of the mistakes I've made along the way, and then when we get to the end of the video, I'll jump back in and give you my thoughts about it and explain to you exactly why am I even bothering doing this. And so let's go ahead and jump into the video. It's about a 20-25 minute video, but I think it's worth it. You can fast forward if you want, and then get it to the end, and we'll talk about why I'm doing this and what benefits I've realized so far. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so here we are. We've got the workbench set up, and this is the iPod as it's stock. It's all original parts, and this is a 30 gigabyte iPod, and this is the 5.5, so this is the iPod video. And what we're going to do is do some upgrades on it. We're going to upgrade the faceplate from white to blue. I'm going to keep the click wheel, so the click wheel will stay gray and white, but then we're also going to upgrade the battery. I'm going to take the battery and give it something new. It will have what the original battery capacity was, so we'll see how much I like that. But I will probably end up upgrading that to the bigger batteries that can go like 60 plus hours. In addition to that, I'm going to be upgrading the hard drive, or removing the hard drive that's in this case. This has a spinning or mechanical hard drive, and it's only 30 gigabytes, so it's old technology and it's got limited storage. So what I'm going to do is replace that with one of these. This is called an iFlash Quad, and it's going to allow me to upgrade to some flash storage. This particular one, the Quad, it allows you to connect 4 SD cards in here, and that will be your storage. So we're going to go, in this case, from 30 gigabytes of slow data to 256 gigabytes of flash data. So this will be a nice improvement. I'll be able to store all my music on here, and if I wanted to, I could add more or different SD cards. The technology is called JBOD, just a bunch of disks, but I'm going to go with just the 256 for now, and maybe if I find another use where I need more storage, then I'll add more disks to it. I'll also be upgrading the operating system. So this has the stock iPod iOS on it. So I'm going to put Rockbox on here, and this will allow me to I'll still have the original operating system if I wanted to revert back to that, but it will allow me to put some customization on it, and you can play games on it. You can have a lot of different features and take advantage of the full processing power that's on this device. Lastly, I'm going to replace the back, but that hasn't arrived yet, so I'll do that when it arrives later on. But it should be a pretty straightforward process once I've gone through all these upgrades. It should be nothing to replace the back. The tools I'm going to use are an iFixit set of tweezers and a box cutter that's going to be used to separate the back from the front. And then I have a Fantech electric screwdriver set. So that should be everything I need, and I probably won't even need that because this comes with a set of screwdrivers and spudgers. So let's get into it and take this apart. All right, so let's get into this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the iPod off and then put it into the hold mode, so that way me pressing the buttons doesn't turn it on. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to minimize the chance of there being electricity running through it as I'm pulling stuff apart. When I do get it open, the first thing I will do is take out the disconnect the battery. So I'm going to use this blade to pry open the case. And the front place, I do see a little bit of a crack there, but it's not nothing that wouldn't have caused any issues. It is popping coming apart. So let's see. There we go. I think I should be using these to hold open the parts that I was able to pry open. They said be careful. Every video did mention be very careful when you pop this open, because there is going to be a ribbon cable. If you hear water in the background, that's because I'm in the basement and I'm right near the pipes. So whenever someone uses water upstairs, you'll hear water. But anyway, I'm just trying to be very careful to not pull it too hard, because I definitely see that there is a ribbon or a cable right there at the bottom. And then there's a cable right here. So there's that right there. We don't want to pop that. And then right over here. So like the battery and the disk drive are still in. They're connected to the case, but they're supposed to pop out. Let's see if we can at least get the battery to come on up. Okay, now it's coming apart. So I was just really trying to be gentle, because as you can see, there is this cable right here. Then you have the hard drive itself. This is the mechanical hard drive. It's not like a regular or the old 2.5 hard drives. These are smaller, much smaller, but they do basically the same thing. It's got a little sticky cushioning on it to keep it, you know, from vibrating because it's a mechanical device. It's prone to that type of stuff. Now I need to figure out how to get this disconnected. And we're gonna do it by using there is a cable right here, it's connected. And I'm gonna use my tweezers to flip the connector. See that? You probably can't see that. Let me see if I can bring it up. But there is a little flap right here. Flips forward, flips back. I flipped it up and back, and that will allow me to remove this cable. It's gonna slide right out, just like that. And this is the hard drive. The hard drive is held in place similarly with this little socket right here. You use your tweezers, flip it back, then it should come out. Well, let's hold on to that thought. Let's hold on to that thought for a second, because I want to look at what we're going to be replacing it with, which is this right here. And as you can see, I'm glad I did not pull that out. I was pulling out the wrong end. See, this is where you slide it in, right here. That cable right here is gonna slide into here. So something I need to do first is figure out how to remove this cable. It does not appear to just pop up. It doesn't flip up like the smaller black ones. At least it does not appear to. Let's take a look at one of these. No, for this one it looks like it would just slide in. The cable just slides in. But one thing I did think about just now is the fact that I need to put this in and make sure that I will be able to format it. Well, I do that once I actually get everything in. But I do need to get this SD card in one of the slots. So I'm gonna go with SD1. They're labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4, so I'm gonna put this in number 1. All right. Also, I'm wondering what I'm gonna go pause for a second because I want to get a look at the video to see exactly how they take this off. I mean, it doesn't make sense to break something if I can just take a quick look. So I'll be right back. Okay, so after doing a quick bit of Googling and watching some videos that showed some hard drives that had kind of a different connector than what I had, and after me really, putting a little bit of too much pressure with the tweezers, I decided to just see if it would just come out, and sure enough, it slides out like that. So I put it back in so you could see it on the video, but it just took a little bit of pressure to hold down the cable to this little soft cushion here, held it down and just tugged it out, and it came out. So now This new one will do the same exact thing. I'm gonna flip it around that way because I want the hard drive to show like that. So let's see, let's go ahead and get it to go right in. Yeah, it slides right in. But now I'm concerned about how does it lock into place. I mean, I guess I could slide it in like this because it comes with a piece of foam. See, this doesn't even flip open. So that's the question. How do we get it to stay in place? So it's going to be in the case like that, supposedly, but yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's made to go like that. That pops right in. Now I guess the next step is to remove the faceplate. There are 1, 2, 3 screws on each side. 1, 2, 3. We'll unscrew those. This white case should come off and blue should go right on. So let's give that a try. Let's see if the screwdrivers that they gave me will work. You can see there is some damage right here. I'm not sure if I did that or what, but it shouldn't be a problem. So now with those disconnected, I should be able to pop out the case, the faceplate. My center click button came out of position. This is the old one. Center click is held in place by a ribbon cable right here. Well, that's the scroll knob, and then the center click is right here. Looking good, looking good. Gonna put you there. The cover of the screen has a cover on it to keep it dust free. It's really important to keep it as clean as possible. Ooh, and it just snaps into place. So lovely. Nice snap into place. Ooh, this is gonna look nice. Center click works. I like the contrast of the gray and the white. I think that's really cool. So I think mission accomplished on this end right here. So I'm gonna put this to the side and then we're gonna focus on the battery. All right, so let's take a look at this battery situation. Hopefully it's not too difficult. So the replacement battery is right here. So I'm replacing, it looks like a like for like replacement just about. There is, it says replacement for classic battery. This is 3.7 volt, 750 milliamp rechargeable LiPo battery. Probably shouldn't have damaged this. And as I'm trying to use this little piece of plastic, it is falling apart. So the tools that come with the battery thing aren't the greatest. Okay, I'm back. Very interesting fact. I did not realize my mic was not hooked up correctly for all the previous footage. And I'm not going back to re-record that, so the rest of the footage will have proper volume. So anyway, I did some looking, and I discovered that yes, this is a cheap piece of tool that they give you. I went and found one of my automotive spudgers or pry bars, and yes, I was able to get this or make good progress with getting this battery out. I decided to come back and get the rest of this on footage, on recorded. So anyway, also while I was doing some research, I did realize that I shouldn't have put this in quite yet. So I'm gonna pop out my card. It is in correctly, but it's in too early. I need to put these screws back in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to work on getting these screws back in. Okay, so I've got my pieces hooked up. I've got the screws screwed in. This little gray piece fell out as I had it upside down, but it just goes like the other one on the other side. Pop that back into position. It should be good there. From here, I'm going to take this pry bar and just push it again. I'm choosing to push it against this piece right here. That's more of the frame, not trying to wedge it in between these plastic pieces. Flips right up. And you can pull it out. Well, be careful though, because there is a cable right below it. Yeah, see? It's kind of swelling too, if you look at it in comparison. This thing was starting to bubble. So I'm glad to get rid of that. And then we're gonna put this down here. Let's see. We got some tape. It's just going right where the other one was. Very easy one-for-one replacement. You've got your cable right here. And we got a cable right there. And then we will put in the SSD. So remember where your sockets were. There's a socket right here. Little black one, and then there is a socket. Let's see. Right here. All right, so we're back, and I got a little bit more progress made. So I'll show you real quick. I ended up doing it while in between takes, but I took this cable and was able to use the little latch. There's a latch right here that flips over. Let me try a different set of tweezers. Right here, the little brown flip. When you have it flipped open, you're able to slide that ribbon cable right into place and then flip it right back over, and it snaps into place. You can press down and it will snap in. Now for This cable right here, which comes from the battery, the new cable we just put in, it is going to go here. There is a little brown piece that pops up, and then you're able to slip the ribbon cable in there, and then you press down to lock it into place. So that's what we're going to do right here. Once that's done, then I can connect this card into this ribbon right here. And I know when I was looking earlier, I wasn't able to really, on this hard drive, I wasn't able to really find the latch, but after looking a little bit more, I see that there really is a little black flip right here that you can use to lock the cable in place or to unlock it so you can get the cable out. Even though I did kind of pull it out with a little bit of force, it probably did not mess up anything. And after further inspection, I do see that this new card does have that flip as well. Whoops. It's got a little black piece right here. Right now it's in the open position, so I'll be able to get the cable in and then flip it closed. In fact, let's go ahead and do that now. That ribbon cable goes right in a lot easier with the flip open. But now that I've pushed it down, it's locked into place and it's there. So from here, I just need to get this last little piece in. This cable is going to go into here. This cable is going to go into there, and then we'll lock it all up. Of course, this has to go down as well, get into position. Only thing left is to get this ribbon into that slot. This last little ribbon right here. There we go. I got it to go in. Now I'm going to push down on this gray piece. Cable is locked into place. Now, we press everything back together. It's all pressed in. My click button works. Nice and flush. The big test is to take it off the hold position, turn on, press some buttons, let's see what happens. I see an Apple symbol. You can see it, well, you probably can't see it on this camera, but boom. All right, so at least it powers up. And now it's telling me that I need to go to apple.com or support/iPod, and it's showing me the little sick looking iPod dude. So what I'm gonna do now is connect this to my Windows PC that has iTunes. I'm going to first format the drive, and then I'm going to restore this iPod on the computer. So let's see how this works. Okay, and we're back. So we were finally able to get this thing put back together, and it works. It took a little while, but when I put it back together, plugged in the battery cable and put it back together, it did light up and come on and give me a message, but the message was showing that the iPod was having trouble booting up. So it kept giving me the sad face iPod symbol, and then it would alternate between battery low, needs to charge. And I let it charge for like a day and still never got it to work. So I kept taking it apart and trying to figure out why wouldn't it work, because I did everything right. And then I started to question myself, like maybe I ripped or damaged a cable. But I ended up going on to the Facebook forum for iPod Classic owners, and I was looking at a thread that had nothing really to do with my situation, but someone mentioned that the iFlash quads don't really play well with SanDisk memory cards every time. Now that varies from person to person because that seems to be a little divisive topic because there are people who say they have no problems whatsoever, and then other people say they have issues. Well, I had issues. So looking at that little bit of information, I decided to get one of my Lexar memory cards and put it in. And sure enough, as soon as I put it in and closed it up, turned it on, it showed me the screen that told me to connect it to iTunes on the computer so we could restore the iPod, which meant everything was working. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. Some people talk about the possibility of a counterfeit or a fake memory card from SanDisk, but I ordered mine directly from SanDisk, so I'm pretty sure it was legitimate, but it just didn't work for me. But the learning thing, what I did learn was that try a different brand, try something else. So I now know that I have a new preference for Lexar memory cards or SD cards because it definitely did not let me down and it allowed me to complete this project. So that was about the only real hiccup I had in this process for this project. I do have some other ideas for upgrades. I did mention the Bluetooth and the USB-C, but there's also the option to put a much bigger battery in here. One like the one that comes with it and the one I replaced it with is a 750 milliamp or milliwatt or whatever. It's 750, and you can get one that's 3000. So that would give you much more battery life, and what I'm hearing is you can get like 60 plus hours of battery life with these bigger batteries. So that may be an upgrade that I do in the future, and I might even get another color for the case. But I'm very happy with this project. It makes my life so much easier. And one of the reasons I did say I was going to talk to you about the why. Why am I doing this? Well, having all your music coming from a streaming service can be a little bit it's not so great because you're relying on an algorithm to feed music to you, or you may pick and choose some music, but it doesn't seem as intentional as making playlists and loading them up on an iPod. And I've learned that by doing that, I'm becoming a little bit of a better DJ. I'm having better playlists because these are things that I'm sitting down and trying to figure out and plan out. And when I make these playlists, they stay in my iTunes. So when I open up my DJ programs, those playlists show up as well. So it's nice to have some really well curated playlists available when I'm DJing. Another reason is this is a standalone device. It just plays music. Now it does have some cheesy games you can add. You can play with it like Brick or Spider or whatever, just little silly games. And it does have a calendar, which I never use, and a clock, which may be a little bit helpful, but that's about it. Its main purpose is to play music. So sometimes I'm in situations where I just want to listen to music on my device. I don't want to get phone calls. I don't want to get text messages or Teams messages or any other kind of communication or interruption. And I noticed this when I was at the gym and I was using this on the treadmill. It felt so great to be able to have my music with me, but not the distractions that come along with a cell phone. So I'm learning there's definitely different times when I want to be just alone with the music, or I want to pick certain music to listen to and not be suggested stuff from an algorithm or have any other influence into the music I'm choosing other than what I'm choosing to listen to at that time. So those are the two main reasons why I decided to use this iPod in 2025. But I think I'll find more situations where it becomes very handy and very useful. But I'm going to keep on doing little projects like this. I'll do another upgrade video once I decide to change out the battery or maybe even change out the screen. You can get that as well. All these parts are found easily on Amazon for very low. I think the most expensive part was the iFlash Quad card, which costs about $40. The battery probably cost $15, and the faceplate was another $15 or so. So they're very inexpensive. And then once you get inside and you start really replacing these parts, it's actually pretty easy to open these up, especially with this model. Now, maybe the other models are a little harder to get into. That's what I've read. I did hear that this version, the iPod version 5 or 5.5 are the easiest ones to get into. But if you are interested or you have any questions about doing this project yourself, please reach out to me. I'm definitely open to give some advice or to share my experience with this, because it's a fun project and it gives you a good sense of accomplishment. Anyway, that's today's video. I hope it wasn't too long and hope you did find it interesting. Like I said, I'm going to try to do more videos like that. We have a lot more content coming through for the beginning of the year. Next week, I'll be going to NAMM for my first time, checking out that. So I definitely will have content from that. And I got some more products to review as well. So please, if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And then we can keep this conversation going. But until next time, this is your boy Logistical Styles, and I'm signing out, and I'll see you on the next video. All right? Peace.